All right, guys, welcome back to the Fitness and Lifestyle Podcast. And today I'm joined by Iz, who is a guest, a recent guest of the show, and my man Zach. And Zach, I'm not sure whether you want me to refer to you as, Arnold, Mark Wahlberg, The Rock.
Yeah.
Today I think we'll refer to you as Zach. Might keep it nice and easy for everybody. But boys, welcome to the show. I'm really looking forward to having a chat today, and I think everybody that's tuned in will get a lot of value out of our chat, and hopefully a better understanding about the brand new product from EHPlabs, which I'm really excited to chat about. So welcome, boys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
How's the week going so far?
Yeah, can't complain. Pretty good. Busy.
Not too many words.
My weeks are pretty frantic at the moment, man. There's just a lot of awesome moving parts happening, and a lot of growth, expansion. So it's been full on. It's been very exciting.
Awesome, boys. So as I've already touched on, I kind of want to get straight to the point. So EHP have just recently brought out a brand new product called Pride, a pre-workout that you guys have worked on together. I'm fortunate enough to have tried it over the last week, and can say firsthand that it's by far the best pre-workout I've ever used. I absolutely love the product. It tastes incredible. The pumps have been absolutely insane, and I'm loving it. And I'm giving scoops to all of my clients. I've pretty much lost my whole tub in about a week by giving scoops to all my clients to try it out. But what I want to do today, guys, is just kind of touch on how this idea come about. The start to finish process. Give the listeners a good idea of what the ingredients kind of involves, the differences, I guess, from the other products on the market, and a bit of inside information, I guess, about how it all come together, and to the final product today, which not only is the product extremely effective, but even the tub and everything just looks incredible. So, first of all, congratulations, and secondly, let's dive into it.
Yeah, sweet. Thank you, man. Well, I guess I'll do the quick intro summary of the story of the conception of Pride. Basically, it's a very long story because it happened about 2.5 years ago. I think it was over 2 years ago. And essentially, me and Iz he was down here in Melbourne we're shooting some content, and we ended up just talking about brainstorming new products because I'm super passionate about supplements. I worked in the supplement industry for a while, way before I even did what I do now. So I was relatively savvy with the ingredients and what I like in products. So we ended up talking about a pre-workout, and we ended up just kind of just designing. I was just saying what I would love to see in a pre. So I was of the mindset of let's get a great performance product, something, I don't want anything that's going to just overload you with caffeine, because I was seeing all these pre-workouts in the market, and people would come into the shop when I was working and asking for the strongest pre, what's the strongest? And I'm thinking you guys don't know what's good for you.
It's not the right question.
Exactly right. And then it's kind of hard to tell people that, because I'd have to go and address it. Okay, why do you want the strongest? How do you feel after it? And they're always thinking, I feel pretty average after 20 minutes. You crash already. So it's kind of I was just seeing an overabundance. Just jumping. And so I was saying, wouldn't it be sick? Basically, hypothetically, wouldn't it be good to have a product that is long-lasting energy? It actually helps you perform better in the gym. You have better workouts. The pumps are crazy. The focus is awesome. The recovery is good. I was designing this dream kind of thing that didn't feel like it could even be doable, because in my mind that'd be $150 a tub. It'd be just not feasible. And then he straight away jumped at it, and he was just saying, well, yeah, because we could. And he just starts listing off ingredients, literally ingredients and dosages, and I was like, here we go. And then it kind of just snowballed from there, and we ended up with, and that's kind of where the idea originated. We came up with it, and I think in a day, in a Japanese restaurant in Frankston, Melbourne, we came up with this insane product, the first of its kind. So it's pretty unreal.
Man, the real question is, what was in the food of the Japanese restaurant for you to come up with this formula? I think
the chicken teriyaki don. It definitely gives you powers.
That's awesome. So, I mean, we recently spoke on the podcast about the supplement industry, and about what people should be looking for in products, and what supplements are actually for and whatnot. When it comes to pre-workout, Zach, you touched on a good point about a lot of people just don't know the questions to ask, or don't even know what they should look for in a pre-workout. In you guys' opinion, what should someone be after when they look for a pre? Is it just that massive energy hit? Is it the focus? Is it the what are we looking for, and why is this product so much better? than the others we can find on the market that do just give you that huge spike in energy. And then, as you said, Zach, you end up crashing and doing absolutely jack all for the rest of the day after you finish your arms workout.
Yeah. So I'll just quickly just start by saying that for me, very simply put, the best pre-workout, in my opinion, is literally the one that is going to give you your best possible workout that day. It's the one that you take where you feel great in the gym, you perform better in the gym, and you leave the gym also feeling great. So that was kind of like, that's the main thing. If it doesn't tick those boxes, then what's it even for? You're just getting carried away. So I guess I'll let Iz explain the more technical side of things, I guess, in ingredients and why we did the things that we did.
So, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with everything that Zach said. As a brand, like from a brand's perspective, when we create a product, we want to make sure that that product genuinely helps people. And being in the sports supplement industry, it's inherent in the word. It's there to supplement. And so anyone can go to the gym and train. It's cool. Like, go to the gym and train. Like, anyone can go and, eat some protein. Whether they're getting enough protein is a different question. Now, going back to the question of somebody going to the gym, well, do they go or do they not go? So first point of, first point of contention is like, how much motivation factor, and I'm using loose language here, right? How much motivation factor as an ingredient source do we put into this product? So when somebody drinks it, and I joked around before in the last podcast, we're like, you're not just going to, kick back and Netflix and chill with a listener. You are going to want to get up. It's going to like fully trigger across the blood-brain barrier, help you focus, dial you in, keep you motivated, remind you of those old school Zach Perna or Greg Plitt videos that you watched of, I think it's Greg pulling a train, not Zach, but whatever it takes to motivate you. Like me.
Give it time. Zach will make a video and it will be now Zach pulling the train.
Yeah.
And so, Zach, we need you to one up that shit, man. Can you go pull a plane instead?
I'll do my best.
Yeah, there's a lot of landed planes at the moment with COVID. Nothing's flying. So you can just pull bear.
I'll do that instead. It'll be easier.
So what we wanted to do was to actually create a product that, and everyone says we want to create something different. I suppose for us, when you're trying to create something too different, like it's like sitting there saying, we want to create the best tire. Let's go create one that's a square. Like, we're not going to go and be that, left of field. What we ultimately wanted to do is say, well, what's the different criteria that we're looking for to optimize the performance of somebody in the gym? And so when you can optimize the performance in the gym, the person's getting the best possible workout. It's crazy. They're activating every muscle fiber possible, in giving it all. Because that's all that we ask for when you do anything, is that you give it your all, and you walk out feeling proud. No pun intended with the name pride. But so the whole energy, the whole formulation, I can get into the technical stuff in a second. I'm just keeping a really high level at the moment for those that don't really know all the technical terms. So I'll get into that in a second. What we wanted to do is ensure that, one, it got you to the gym. Two, when you were at the gym, you didn't burn out your adrenal glands. That's the part of your body that's responsible for releasing adrenaline and norepinephrine. So that's in another form of it's another hormone that's essentially related to adrenaline. And what happens is, when you release too much of that too fast, you then come crashing back down. So we all know about that kind of crash feeling. We didn't want it to do that. We wanted it to have this beautiful, prolonged, nice, sustained energy release formula that I think we've nailed. We've absolutely crushed that. We've trademarked the term pentafine because it's 5 different sources of caffeine. And I can go into that in a second. We wanted to ensure that one of the key areas of performance optimization and maximization is how you can optimize the transportation of oxygen through your body. So when you can increase the rate of oxygen transportation or mobilization to your working muscles, you essentially increase the rate of natural energy production through the process of respiration, creation of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, natural energy in its purest form. And our little concoction in there, what we call the skin splitting off the bone pumps. Zach and I feel we did a tremendous job of that because we didn't use citrulline malate, which is a slightly cheaper form of citrulline that only gives you half the dosage of citrulline. Ours is purest form of L-citrulline. And we've like mega dosed that out like 5,000 milligrams. And then we've got a patented ingredient called nitrosogene. And we've got that at like top, like above kind of the clinical dosage. That's at 1.5 grams. So now 1,500 milligrams of that. And we've got a little bit of betaine in there. And so betaine anhydrous, there's some clinical research that shows its usage in strength and muscular performance. I like betaine in terms of its nitric oxide production. So all it does is it just goes and supports, and it's what the pure L-citrulline is doing. The massive dose of the 5 grams of pure citrulline and the massive dose of the 1.5 grams of the nitrosogene. So in terms of the pumps, in terms of the caffeine release, in terms of the huge amounts of crazy razor sharp focus, that's all there. So you're not going to be distracted at the gym. You're going to work out like a crazy mofo. You're going to have this sustained, beautiful, nice release of energy where you become stronger and kind of more committed and more enthusiastic after every set. And Zach and I road tested this, man. Zach, I don't know if you remember when we were in Salt Lake City and we came out of the lab, like little guinea pigs, like little boys excited coming out with their sherbet from the candy shop. And dude, and you know my life situation then, right? I think back then my eldest was like 3 and my other girl, my youngest was 1. I hadn't trained in a long time, like sleep deprived, trying to get, grow the company, traveling on the road for months all throughout North America and Canada. And I turned to Zach, I go, dude, I don't know if I could train. Firstly, I didn't say this. I thought it because like I'll never admit it. Zach knows me. I'm thinking, we're walking in the gym. I'm thinking to myself, I'm scared shitless training with Zach Perna right now. This guy's a fucking beast, and I'm dad bod. And I just turned to him and go, man, it's been a big day. Hey, like I really hope this kicks in. I'm kind of like little stuff, excuses. Bang! I took pride, and it's just like Zach had come, behind me and flick some switch, and.
I was going to say, I don't know if you remember this, but we actually had it in the hotel room. So we had these little baggies there. We mixed it up in the hotel room, smashed it. And then we just we're so passionate about it. We just started talking. We're just like chatting. We're just chatting absolute shit about everything, about the pre, this, what we want in it. And all of a sudden I think it was either me or Iz just said to one another, do you realize how fast you're talking right now? And then we just like looked at the situation. We're like, kicked in because we didn't think, like, we're waiting for it to kind of, and because we didn't have any beta alanine or any uncomfortable ingredients, you don't really get that, oh yeah, I feel something now. It was just this, like, all of a sudden we're just chilled tasting a pre, and the next thing we're just like talking like this, going crazy. So then that's when it started. That's when I noticed, I'm like, this is different. That was a very different thing. I think the focus mixed with the pentafine in there, it did something. And then we went down to the gym, and that was a whole other story.
That's awesome. And the focus side of things is something that I'm really interested in, and when I find a lot of benefit from as well, because, being in the industry for so long, you try all these pre's and you go in and yes, it does have a huge stimulant content, and you go in there and half the time the workout's shit, to be honest, because you're just like that G'd up that like you can't even focus. You can't get any mind muscle connection. You're just pushing
100%.
weight. You feel shit afterwards.
And then after like 20 minutes, you end up staring into space. Yeah, you end up like just zoning out and staring into space, going, oh, snapping back to it. Like it's a weird thing.
How, so you mentioned it was, did you say at the start, roughly 2 years ago that the whole concept started?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that time, before product has now come to the market, how many kind of times did you have to, rejig the ingredients and sample it and coming up with the flavors and stuff? How long did that take? And was there any other flavors or anything that you initially kind of tested out and decided not to go with?
Yeah. So we went to Salt Lake City, and we, like Iz said, we did like years of work there in just a week. We pumped it out. We just smashed it. They'd mix up, flavors that we'd want to choose from. And then we'd test it, see if it needs a bit more sweetness, if it's too bitter, whatever. It was actually really awesome to see. One of the flavors I said to Iz that I wanted to do was a cotton candy, because I had a cotton candy pre-workout one time, and I was like, that's nice. It's really sweet. So I said, let's try to do that. But what I didn't know is what's really interesting is that, like, the base of the pre-workout, all the ingredients, they can be masked with, you know, certain flavors better than others. So the cotton candy that we had ended up tasting like a really, really nice iced coffee. You know, I don't know why. I think it was just one of the ingredients. I forget which one it was, but it just tasted like this iced coffee. So I said to him, I'm like, it's nice. Like we both said it's good, but it's not cotton candy. So that was one of them that didn't make the cut. And the other one that I think had a lot of legs that was nice was a juicy fruit flavor, like the chewing gum. It was kind of, it was different. That's why I thought it was cool. But the ones that we have now, the sour green apple, strawberry snow cone, blue slushy, it's got to be the nicest tasting pre-workout. Like it's an amino acid because they're hard to flavor. Like I didn't realize how difficult they were.
I was going to say,
they're delicious.
I've tried pre's in the past where I've looked at the ingredients list and like said to myself, like, this is a good ingredient list. This is different. It doesn't seem like it's just going to be a bunch of energy, but then you try it and like the consistency sucks. The taste is just foul. And you're like holding your nose trying to smash down this pre. But this is
always
generally
like
super
acidic.
nice.
It's
like I've been using the sour green apple, and it's like, what did I refer to it as the other day? It's kind of like like that cloudy apple juice that you can get, like the green cloudy apple juice you can get, but it tastes super nice.
100%.
Like it's awesome. I genuinely look forward to
ridiculous. You just sip on it. It's really enjoyable to sip on. Yeah. And that's, a lot of people actually have said that. Like a lot of guys have messaged me saying, is it, you know, can you just sip on it? Because all I want is a pre-workout that I can enjoy and just sip on, and it doesn't taste like acid and you got to just neck it. I'm like, trust me, it's like, it's next level.
Sitting here, got to pump doing emails. I'm like waiting for my inbox to fill up so I can sit there and sip pre and just do emails.
Well, do you know what's funny? Because I actually, like me and you spoke about this ages ago. I said, that's why I didn't want to put any beta-alanine, or we didn't want any kind of like those uncomfortable ingredients, because on the days that I, you know, might actually do some work in the morning first, I will have that, and I will still have it. If I go traveling, I'll bring the Pride with me, you know, and maybe an Oxy Shred, but it's nice to have that bit of focus that doesn't leave you uncomfortable, because nobody can, there's literally probably not another pre-workout on the market that you could just sip on and get some work done before you go to the gym or something. But I've been doing that nearly every day because it's kind of how my routine is. So that's like one thing I'm really enjoying about that, but it might be just me.
That's mad. I was going to
so not hating on beta alanine or anything. Again, not hating on beta alanine or anything, but the interesting thing is everyone, you know, historically would say, oh yeah, like I feel it. I feel this kind of like skin itching feeling, like, oh, it must be good. That's actually an allergic reaction that everyone has to beta alanine. And the same thing with excessive levels of niacin. So if you have greater than 50 milligrams of niacin, vitamin B3 in any product, you get this thing called like niacin flushing or hives, and you break out. And so my wife, Katie, who Zach spent time with, like Katie's got really fair skin, like really, she's really, really white. And so any type of allergic thing that happens on her. So I remember back in the day when me and Katie used to like lift like crazy. We used to train twice a day, and we were in LA just after LA Fit Expo. We're training with, you know, Max the Body, and like, you know, it's like this cool early stage. This is back in like the heyday, like 2014, probably like at the peak days. And like, I can't remember who else was there, like Matt Ogus and Lavada Rockdown and a few of the other Gymshark guys. And there's us like EHP crew, and like, it's still the early days. And we're experimenting around with different pre-workouts. And I remember probably like got a bit too excited with the beta alanine in the lab that day, and Katie took it and everyone took it and everyone's face was just itching. And then Katie developed severe allergies after that. So you just got to be careful of anything that has like just has an allergic response in your body. So it's actually an immune response that your body's triggering. You get excessive levels of histamine that your body then goes and releases. And once your body starts to do that, your allergy markers in your body start to elevate. So anytime you now are exposed to pollen or dust or any other type of allergen, you're going to be so much more like reactive to that kind of stuff, or sensitive. So yeah, just be careful about those kinds of things, man.
That's interesting. I mean, yeah, we all know the feels when you take your pre with beta alanine and then you get stuck in traffic. Fuck. Not a good time. Not a good time.
But and the thing is, I feel like that old school mentality of putting, I was just going to say, putting like the beta alanine in there and things that people don't know the purpose. Like they might say, oh yeah, it reduces fatigue, but really, I think you need like 10 grams or whatever, 5 grams to reduce fatigue, not the 1.5 that gives you the tingles and the itches. But it's like, I think it still appeals to that whole thing of not really being transparent with their customer and the people, you know, they're just taking something that they don't know what the purpose is. But, you know, it's a difference between us putting the pure citrulline in versus just any other citrulline that you can say, oh yeah, we've got heaps of it in there. But really, it's not, you're not putting the customer first, you know. But I feel like Izhar and EHPlabs, that's what they're doing. That's what we're doing, is putting the customer first. We're not going to just say, oh yeah, this smoke and mirrors type thing. Like, you'll feel something and just, you know, they're worse off in the end. Does that make sense?
Zach, that's 100% right, and like I think that's a really good segue to even talk about the reason why we've got, like, if you know, Danny were to ask, well, what's the biggest innovation around what's in Pride, I'd probably say like your real vision around, you know, ensuring that we are maximizing and optimizing performance with the addition of a solid dosage of 5 grams of essential amino acids, and then pentafine. But do you want to talk about the EAAs? Because I think it's interesting, because
100%.
Danny's really experienced in supplementation and fitness, and like he's well versed in this area. So keen to kind of get you to maybe explain that, and then see what Danny's thoughts are around why we included EAAs.
Yeah, 100%. So no pre-workouts have essential amino acids in them. It's kind of like the thing that if you're an advanced trainer and you're serious about your training, you might buy essential amino acids, which are very expensive, and then mix them with your intra-workout. That's kind of like the ideal. And so I was doing that at the time. I was 2 years ago, I was mixing the EAAs with, you know, my whatever, the intra-workout, the BCAAs. I might put some carbs in there, depending on my goal. But essentially, that was just for the purpose of recovery, because I knew that was the best thing. I was completely optimizing and ticking all boxes as far as recovery goes. So when I said, wouldn't it be sick, you know, to have, you know, EAAs, have you ever thought about doing that? I think it was actually your idea that said, yeah, let's put them in the pre-workout. And that was like, how has that not been done before? But I didn't realize how expensive it was. So that's why, I don't know if there's any other brands that actually do this, because it's the type of thing where, and we've said this before, is that people don't know. They don't actually know the benefits of, say, an essential amino acid. So we're giving them better recovery, better performance, and their ability to train harder and better the next time. And they don't even know it, because we haven't gone crazy spelling it out to people. We didn't actually need to put that in there, but it was the type of thing that, like, we knew it would be beneficial, and way more beneficial for the customer and for the people who want to train and get better results. And it's like they don't realize that we didn't actually have to do that. That wasn't just a marketing gimmick. That is just to make the product better.
Yeah, no one's gonna go put like a 5 gram solid dosage of EAAs in. It makes it over 30% more expensive for us to like produce a product like that. So if this was just a purely kind of commercial decision, like if our CFO and entire financial team was sitting here, they'd be like, maybe we can leave it out. But that's not
exactly.
how we.
They won't know. They'll be like, customers won't know to leave it out. But
that's not how we roll. I think we're
That's
EHP globally renowned and respected, man. And one of the biggest things is Zach's own personal brand and his huge community. Danny, like, you're part of the EHP fam. One of the biggest things that you love and appreciate is the fact that, like, man, like, we won't leave anything on the table, dude. Like, ultimately, if we believe it should be in there, it's going in there, and we'll just make it work. Like, it's not like commercially driven decision. It's the decisions based on whatever's best for our community.
Yeah, and you know, you've both touched on really good points. It's a lot of the time, for those that are listening, I think that's why everyone will get so much out of it today. It's just people just don't know the questions to ask. People don't know what they should be looking for in a pre. And you know, I was the same. Like when I first started in the health and fitness industry, I had no idea what I was looking for. So I mean, like, any buzzword would have drawn me in. But like, people knowing and understanding what they should be looking for, and also what they don't necessarily need. Like, there's products out there that are filled with stuff, as we've touched on today, that are just unnecessary. So you're really just wasting your money. And a question I wanted to touch on as we get towards the end here, boys, is if someone is using OxyShred at the moment because they have kind of suffered that kind of crash, or maybe they feel a bit uncomfortable from using pre-workout in the past. You know, I've got clients who prefer to use OxyShred because it's more of a subtle energy than the pre. How is this different to other pre's that they may have tried, and will they have a similar type of feel to the OxyShred, but obviously a little bit more amplified, a lot more amplified, but they're not going to get that uncomfortable feeling like they may have from, you know, previous products, are they?
Really, really, really good question, man. Thank you for asking that. So I'll just touch upon it first. OxyShred is amazing at at helping you to get the benefits of whatever you need when you're trying to diet, maintain healthy weight, you train really hard so you can burn fat in the gym. So it's got appetite suppressant ingredients in there. It's got ingredients like our 1.5 grams of acetyl-carnitine that helps to mobilize fat cells, transport them into the core of your cells called your mitochondria, where it gets converted into natural energy. It's got amazing mood enhancers. It's got a sensible, smart level of caffeine in there. And it's got certain ingredients that help to really trigger and speed up your metabolism. So if that's what you're looking for and that's your goal, then stick to OxyShred. If your goal is to get into the gym and train as hard as you can, recover as fast as you can, and optimize your performance and output in the gym, then there's like Pride's the way to go. Like Pride, OxyShred doesn't have the huge pump and vasodilation ingredients in there. Like this massive, 5 grams, 1.5, 6.5 grams. Like we've got like close to like almost 8 grams, 8,000 milligrams of just vasodilation ingredients. Like there's, if you like Pride, we could have ripped it apart and made it 3 separate products. You could have had the pump, you could have had like the pentapene,
the focus, the energy. Yeah, true.
It's funny, like I mentioned right at the start of our chat, how I've been kind of giving some scoops to clients to try out before their sessions. And that's one of the things that's come up a few times, even in this past 1 week period, is that like people are feeling things that they've never felt before in the gym, that it's like, holy shit, man. They're like looking at themselves in the mirror going like, what the hell is going on here? And it's not just that energy like we've touched on. And I mean, it sounds like I'm just trying to talk this up and hype it up, but I mean, you've got to try it to actually understand what I'm talking about. But it is, and like I said, I've used every fucking pre-workout under the sun, and by far this is just the best one I've tried, the cleanest one I've tried. There's no crash. It tastes unbelievable. So it's almost like, Zach, you mentioned at the start, is kind of like you're putting this wish list together, and it's like, fucking surely this can't be done. But I mean, it has been done.
Yeah, 100%. And the weirdest thing is that like when I first tried it 2 years ago, when we first tried the mix, I was shocked at how like euphoric I felt. That's kind of the only example, is that I felt really positive and good about just myself, the gym, everything. The workout was all coming together. That's kind of what it felt like. And I was like, this has to be just a bias, because I want to, I want that to be the case. So, but I got that feeling every time. And then I was really interested to see if other people got that as well. So I was just waiting. I didn't like, cue anybody to say it, but just by telling people, asking them, how do you feel in it? What's it like? I'm getting the exact same thing come back to me. Like literally every single day since it's launched, since people have got it, they've said the same thing. They just don't know why, but they just feel incredible. And like, that's a pretty rare thing. I mean, I don't know how many other supplements provide that. It's a bit,
it's
nuts.
100%. It's exciting. I mean, it's good enough to the point that we're doing a podcast about it. I never thought I'd be doing a podcast about a pre-workout, but it's incredible. It's awesome. Guys, I mean, this is pretty straightforward for most people listening, but where can people get Pride? I mean, I've been getting messages this week. I think people that have seen any of our socials would have a good idea, but for someone that's just listening to this and hasn't seen any of their marketing around it, where can people pick up this product and try it themselves?
So EHPlabs.com. If you're in Australia, there's a specific site in Australia called the .com.au site. This ships straight out of Australia, so the shipping is really fast and super cheap. In the States, we have our website in the States and domestic shipping in the States too, so that's super cheap. UK site just launched, and Pride should be landing in the UK in I think 2.5 weeks, and same with Canada. The Canada site is going to be launching in about four weeks. We kind of just road tested Canada for a bit and kind of launched the products on Amazon, and it went nuts. And we're like, okay, cool, we need a website here ASAP. So it's so yeah, man, it's really humbling, and it's really heartwarming for us all, like for Zach and I especially. Like I said to Zach, like as product collaborators on this, like we had a vision around what we wanted to create, and like we didn't go with like necessarily popular opinion about a lot of stuff. We went in there with like what we genuinely felt based on our research and our years of experience. Like I've been in the industry now for like 10 years. And prior to that 10 years specifically in the industry, I was a supplement user for like 8 years before that. So like I'm 37 now. I've been like using subs since I was like, 18 years old. So it's like quite a long time, and make your own guinea pig, what you like, what your friendship circle likes. And yeah, for us, it's something, super special to actually create into what it is. We have the Vitamin Shop in the USA, which is one of the biggest retailers of specialty sports supplements. I've seen something really special in Pride and know why it's so special. And it's not just another pre-workout released by a sports supplement brand. They are getting behind it massively. So we have a huge launch with them in March across North American retail. So you can walk in and Zach, your signature is going to be on tubs across like 750 stores there. It's pretty cool.
Crazy.
In Canada, we are in GNC and Popeyes, as well as EHPlabs. .ca, I believe, is the Canadian URL. But yeah, we pretty much everywhere. Like if you just jump on and you Google Pride pre-workout, you should be able to find your local retailer. I'm all for supporting the local retailers. Please, if you can, go and support your locals. Right now, it's COVID. People,
a lot of them,
struggling.
most of them have it too. All the Australian, New Zealand retailers have it too, don't they?
Everyone's got it. Give ASN a shout out, Zach. I know you've got some history there. You used to work there.
Yeah,
yourself.
I worked there for a couple of years. ASN Frankston.
Yep, Elite Sups are big supporters of ours. Fat Burners Only, Nutrition Warehouse, like just huge supporters of everything that we do as a brand. And over in New Zealand, like the guys at NZ Muscle and Explosive and Sprint Fit, like just huge supporters of everything that EHP is rolling out. So we're massively grateful, and just hugely grateful to be able to collaborate with Zach on creating what is, I believe, the premier. Like we're in 2021, man. Smart is everything, right? Phones, smart home automation, smart this, smart that. People call them the protein bars, smart bars and stuff. So like when we look at pre-workout, if you were to ask me like how do you describe this, I'd tell you, man, it's a smart pre-workout. It's there to optimize your performance in the gym, to actually do what it's meant to do, to help you get the most epic workout possible that your body can physically do, and ensure that you leave there without vomiting, without curling up and having shakes and stuff, and getting physically sick, but then also knowing that you can bounce back tomorrow even harder. And that's a key thing, right? Like Zach, Danny, like this is your area of expertise, dude. You say it all time and time again. I think we spoke about it ages ago. Consistency is key. There's no point taking a pre-workout, whacking yourself that hard and then vomiting all week and being sick, having come downs and then hating the gym after that.
Yeah. I mean, just before we wrap it up, just to finish off on that point, and I know we've kind of touched on it already, the thing that I genuinely like about it the most, aside from the ridiculous workout, is the fact that, at the moment in particular, I'm training in the morning and I have big days. So I don't want to finish my session and feel like shit for the rest of the day and be useless with my clients. And by the time I get home, I'm just dead. I mean, I feel good for the whole day. It's there's not many more things I can kind of say about it, positive things I can say about it. But gents, congratulations. It's an epic product. Everybody that's tuned in today, I would highly recommend you go and try it yourself, and then you'll understand what we're talking about. But I appreciate your time today, boys. It's been good. It's been a good chat. We'll have to do it again soon. But yeah, again, congratulations. It's an epic product, and I love it.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for having us as well.
Yeah, our pleasure. Hey, and I speak on behalf of me personally and Zach. We love hearing from everyone who's experiencing Pride, people's feedback, flavors, what you like, what you didn't like. Be honest with us. Like we literally had the same conversation before about the importance of honesty, so we can learn and understand and address issues. Just give us feedback. DM us, just let us know, like how you're going with it, because we'll write back to you, we'll share stories. We love all that stuff. So yeah, please do engage with us.
For sure. And guys, everyone that's tuned into today's episode, make sure you take a screenshot of this episode on your phone, post it up on your Instagram story for us, tag us all. We'll have the social links to the boys in the show notes below. If you try the product, same thing, chuck it up on your story and tag us. We'd love to hear your feedback. But thanks, boys. Enjoy the rest of your day. And thanks everyone who's tuned into today's episode.
Thanks, mate.